I'd like to, on behalf of ICS, welcome everybody to the start of what will be a terrific conference in the capital of the United States, Washington, D.C. It's ICS's duty never to forget the past and always to keep the memory green. But it's also our duty to learn from the lessons from a life well lived across a swath of so many different activities to influence not only today, but the future. We have to make society better. It's all of our duties, and at ICS, we won't forget that's our duty too. When I talk about keeping the memory green, it was Mary Soames who instructed us and exhorted us to that effort, and we will never forget it and never have forgotten it. However, today we're faced with a changing world and a changing society, and we at ICS have a duty to make sure that all that we've learned in the past can be translated into a modern vernacular. Part of what you'll hear today in DC, next year in London, and at every conference is how we're expanding our activities, increasingly expanding them to make us more current, and so that we can influence direction for generations to come. When we opened NCLC, not a mile away from where you're sitting today, on the campus of George Washington University, we wanted it to become what it has become, which is a center for debate, modern politics, current activities, thoughtfulness, and thought leadership. We wanted it to become a center for debate. NCLC started a speaker series, which has been wildly successful, beyond our expectations, and is growing and growing and growing, and we have bold plans for it. But we've also been looking at us creating a series of relationships with so many organizations that have similar aspirations and needs. One of which we have announced recently is a relationship, a long-term relationship with RUSI. RUSI stands for the Royal United Service Institute. It's the oldest think tank in the United Kingdom dealing with defense and security matters. Tremendous role in influencing not just the UK government, but other governments on matters of security, matters of defense, forward thinking. We forged a unique, for them and for us, partnership with them to put on ICS RUSI series at their historic venue in Whitehall, just opposite Downing Street, fabulous building where we are in fact recording this interview today. And we start with at least 2 conferences, one-day conferences a year in 2020 and in 2021. The initial conference will be chaired by Sir John Major, the previous British Prime Minister, and we have bold plans. This is about influencing debate in modern society, which again is what Churchill so brilliantly did. In fact, we're putting on a fundraiser in June of next year in New York, where Lord Hague has agreed to make a one-day trip to the States to be the keynote speaker at that fundraiser. How do we keep ICS sustaining itself for generations to come? Which is why we encouraged and launched the young Churchillians, and you'll hear from George Repard. Without their thinking, we will stagnate, and that is again what Churchill never did, nor can we. And Churchill can give so much to the future as he has to the past. Society has changed. It's changed, and so must laws change. We must help society think about it, knowing the pitfalls and knowing the lessons of the past that didn't deal with it. We're suffering with outdated concepts today. We mustn't be frightened to change them as globalization comes. We must embrace change. And uncertainty is the new norm, and we have to deal with it as Churchill did. I would remind everybody here today of what Churchill said in the House of Commons in 1948. Those that fail to learn from history are condemned to repeat it. It's an important message for us all. I'm going to ask everybody here to give of themselves as much as they can to this mission, to our cause, in any way they can, for it is indeed a noble cause. We can't just look to the past, we must look to the future, and that's what your board and your membership of ICS is doing today. I hope you have a wonderful conference. Your lives are enriched by it, not just by the information, but the camaraderie, by the friendship and the knowledge that will be yours for the taking in the next couple of days.